Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1801B, and today's date is February 26, 2019, and the title of the episode is Collusion, Investigations, Hoaxes, All Failed, Patriots Turn, DECLAS. Now, before we get started, I wanted to talk about getting prepared and being self-reliant. We've seen what the deep state is capable of. We've seen what the central bankers are capable of. And my main theme has always been to prepare for any situation. One of the best places I found to purchase survival supplies and emergency preparedness gear and food is my Patriot Supply. They understand the drive to practice emergency preparedness. Why? Because my Patriot Supply are active participants in the survivalist lifestyle. My Patriot Supply offers a vast array of survival items. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today and get prepared for any situation, because true freedom comes from attaining a certain level of self-reliance. Let's get into the economic collapse, political and geopolitical news. Now, the deep state, they have tried everything possible to get rid of Trump and the Patriots. They started out with Russian collusion. Then they had Mueller investigate Trump. Then it moved to the House, and they started other investigations. We see the SDNY. They started their investigations. They blocked him at every turn when he tried to pass certain executive orders or laws. They created hoaxes, and they pushed that out there, hoax after hoax after hoax. And the mainstream media just kept on pushing it out there. It has all failed. You know whose turn it is now? It's Trump's and the Patriots' turn. DECLAS is coming. And this is just the run-up to the show. Because the deep state, they continually use every piece of ammunition they have to try to stop what is coming. And nothing can. Remember, propaganda has no facts behind it. Propaganda will always lose against the truth. It might look fantastic in the beginning. It might look like it's bigger than life. But guess what? When you cut through the propaganda and you dig deeper and you look for the facts and they're not there, and they can never present the facts to back up their stories, that's where the truth always overtakes the propaganda. And we're seeing this happen over and over and over. The mainstream media will come out with these incredible headlines. The mainstream media will make everyone believe that this is really happening. And then as time goes on, when people start to dig and people start to look, they realize there's nothing behind it. It's all fake. You can see it everywhere you look. Look at Jussie Smollett. Look at all the other hoaxes that we discussed. Look at Stormy Daniels. Look at everything. The Russian collusion hoax. Because when people really look into these things, they say, well, where is it? I know you keep saying it over and over and over, but where is it? And they never can produce it. That's the one thing about propaganda. When you ask for the facts, they can never produce it. And we see Cohen. He's going to be testifying in front of the House Oversight Committee about possible illegal activities committed by the president. Remember, Cohen is a liar. He's going to prison for lying. And everything he says has no evidence to back it up. It's always lacking. There's no cooperation. There's nothing. The mainstream media will create the propaganda surrounding all of this. His lawyer will put out the propaganda, but when everyone digs deep, they can't find anything. Tom Fitton tweeted out the following. As at real Donald Trump's former lawyer, Mr. Cohen can't ethically testify to Congress about his interactions with Mr. Trump. Mr. Cohen knows this. Congress knows this. Mueller's special counsel knows this. These hearings are more lawless abuse targeting President Trump. Shameful. They all know this. They knew they weren't allowed to raid his office. But guess what? They're desperate. Why do you think they're doing all of this? They are so desperate to find something. They're doing everything outside of the law. But it's all going to catch up to them. How? When the truth comes out. Paul Sperry tweeted out the following. Breaking. McCabe said Rosenstein sought out Comey's advice on who to appoint as special counsel, even though Comey had been fired and Rosenstein had signed the letter recommending Comey's firing. In effect, Comey picked his old pal Mueller, along with Mueller's old briefer, McCabe. If you notice, the deep state narrative, it's continually unraveling. Their plan is being exposed, and they can't stop it because everything that they tried to hide is being brought out to the public, and the public is looking at this and they're questioning it and they're saying, what is going on here? And remember, Q has told us they leak certain information to set the record straight, to get the truth out there, because they're combating the mainstream media propaganda. So all they do is they leak a little bit, say, nope, this is the truth, this is the document, whatever is going on here, this is fake. Now, something very interesting came out from the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court says that federal judges can't rule from beyond the grave. Now, the High Court said in an unsigned opinion that a federal court can't count the vote of a judge who died in a decision issued after the judge's death. The justices said federal judges are appointed for life, not for eternity. The case the court was ruling on involved Judge Stephen Reinhart, a judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. Reinhart died on March 29, 2018, but was listed as the author of a decision issued 11 days after he died. A note on the decision said that Reinhart, who was 87 when he died, fully participated in the case, and that the voting on it, his opinion and opinions written by other judges, were completely and final before his death. But the Supreme Court said that it was not aware of any rule or decision of the Ninth Circuit that renders judges' votes and opinions immutable at some point in time prior to their public release. The justices wrote that it is generally understood that a judge may change his or her position up to the very moment when a decision is released. The court said that because Reinhart was no longer a judge when the decision in the case was filed, the Ninth Circuit erred in counting him as a member of the majority. The practice effectively allowed a deceased judge to exercise the judicial power of the United States after his death. The Supreme Court noted that without Reinhart's vote, the majority opinion he authored was only approved by 5 of the 10 judges on the panel hearing the case, who were still living when the decision was filed. The Supreme Court sent the case back to the Ninth Circuit for reconsideration. The Supreme Court's decision aligns with its own practices. Now, it's very interesting that this came out because everyone is still looking for RBG. Again, there was this one sighting, and people pointed out all different things about her, but I'm wondering if they're coming out and they're saying this right now because anything that comes out of the Supreme Court, it might be null and void as we move forward. Now, we know that Trump right now, he is building the wall, and those people, the deep state, the Democrats, they're trying to stop his national emergency. And they keep saying there's no national emergency. It's not really a big deal. But when you look at what is happening at the border, you can see we have major, major problems, which means it is a national emergency. A group of Central American migrants tried to rush one of the international ports of entry in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico, into Laredo, Texas. The move forced U.S. authorities to shut down the gateway. Now, the incident took place at Port of Entry number 1 in Nuevo Laredo when a group of about 30 walked to the international bridge and jumped into the vehicle lane in an apparent attempt to cross into Texas and request asylum. And you can see that this is continually happening. If there was a wall there, guess what? It'd be a lot easier to stop, and most of the people would not have the ability to get over the wall. And you can see right now that this is a major, major problem, and it is a national emergency. But we know the deep state doesn't want this wall built, because if the wall is built, it shuts down their operations. Now, it looks like the House is voting on a bill that will criminalize private gun sales, and the White House made it very clear that if that bill ever reaches the president, he will veto it. Now, the bill is H.R. 8. It would require that certain transfers, loans, gifts, and sales of firearms be processed by a federally licensed importer, manufacturer, or dealer of firearms. H.R. 8 would therefore impose permanent record-keeping requirements and limitless fees on these everyday transactions. H.R. 8 contains very narrow exemptions from these requirements, and their exemptions would not sufficiently protect the Second Amendment right of individuals to keep and bear arms. And again, this is not going to get passed, and they're going to continually try to push this. And I wouldn't be surprised the next time around if they have some type of an event, or they have an event during the Senate, during when all this is being voted on. So this is something that we need to watch. Now, we know that out in Venezuela, we have the deep state, the neocons. They are pushing their agenda very, very hard. And I still do believe that Trump and the Patriots, they are monitoring this entire situation, because what better way to find out who is with you or who is against you by watching their actions. Now remember, this bridge that they keep focusing on, this has been closed since 2016. It's a brand new bridge. They never opened it because of the squabbling between Colombia and Venezuela. And they talk about this humanitarian aid that was set on fire. Well, it looks like there are videos now showing the opposition, the individuals that are with Guaido, making Molotov cocktails and throwing these Molotov cocktails, which are set on fire, at the police. Now, the police, they just stood there. And it looks like that maybe one of these might have hit the humanitarian aid and set it on fire. Was this done on purpose? Maybe, maybe not. We also see that Brazil says, listen, we are not going to allow you to use Brazil as the invasion platform into Venezuela. Do I think there's going to be an invasion in Venezuela? No, I think this would be absolutely ridiculous. Trump is ending the wars in Syria, Afghanistan, and North Korea, everywhere else. Why would he start a war in Venezuela? Now, the vice president of Brazil said that Brazil is insisting on a nonviolent resolution to the Venezuela power struggle. Moreover, he said that under no circumstances would Brazil allow the United States to use their territory for a military invasion. And again, they don't want a war breaking out like this in this area. And I don't believe that Trump is going to start a war. Again, remember all the talk that all options are open, we're going to be going in. Behind the scenes, what is happening right now, there are peace talks happening with Venezuela. They're flushing out the deep state operatives that are inside Venezuela, creating all of this. And you can see who's leading the charge. Rubio, Pompeo, Bolton. Think about it for a sec. I mean, if he's going to start a war, why is there a new round of negotiations happening with Afghanistan? There's a delegation of U.S. diplomats and top Taliban figures, including Deputy Taliban leader Mullah Baradar. They are present for what is sure to be the highest level of talks yet. So both sides are confirming right now that they are reaching an agreement. They've never done this before. And it looks like the war, after 18 years, is going to end. There's no war with North Korea. There's no war with Afghanistan. The troops are being withdrawn from Syria. And Venezuela is the last deep state holdout that Trump and the Patriots had to go after. And once all these individuals are cleaned out, once all these people are identified, and the talks begin with Maduro or whoever's going to be the leader there, you will see that there will be no invasion, that everything will be opened up once again, just like North Korea. We see Iran's foreign minister, Mohammad Zarif. He is the architect of the 2015 nuclear deal. He decided to resign. So it looks like what Trump has done, what the Patriots have done, where they said, listen, we're not agreeing to this nuclear deal. It seems certain individuals are starting to resign now. We'll have to see where this goes, but I do believe that Iran, Venezuela, these two countries are going to come into line. There'll be no war. They'll start working with Trump peacefully. Let's get into some of Q's posts, and I want to start off with post 2850, where in this post it says, let's look at Smollett, let's look at the false flag designed to pass the anti-lynching law. This is fake news, this is a hoax, because Paul Sperry tweeted out the following: can you detect a pattern? Number 1, Smollett MAGA hoax. Number 2, Covington MAGA hoax. Number 3, Blasey Ford Kavanaugh hoax. Number 4, Trump Russia collusion hoax. The only way Democrats can win is by creating hoaxes to frame Trump and his appointees or supporters as racists, rapists, or traitors. And think about it, they're continually doing it. We have another woman who's out there that said that Trump kissed her in an inappropriate way. And then there are witnesses saying, no, this never really happened. Again, they use propaganda, they use hoaxes, and they use the words rapist, racist, misogynist, traitor, and they just keep repeating it over and over. There is a pattern here. Post 2890. Now we see a tweet by Patton Oswalt, and it shows him, and he's taking a selfie with a child and a woman in the photograph. And Annan posted this, and it said, went on a hunt and caught this tasty morsel, booyah, at Comic Ping Pong. Well, this is a fake tweet. This is not where it happened. It happened in a different location, and it wasn't at Comet Ping Pong, and none of this is true. Q says you are on the right track. Now, Q said you're on the right track, but did not confirm the pic was real or fake, and we'll be getting into that in just a minute. Post 2891, and Annan posted a tweet by Trump and a post by Q, and notice the times matched another Q proof. So Annan put up a tweet by Trump about the China trade deal, and this said 3:12 p.m. And then there's a Q post that says you're on the right track, and this is also on the same day. It's also at the same exact time, and Q said just another day at the office. Post 2892 shows a picture of maybe the airport or runway, looking through the window, and there's rain drops on the window. And it says, arrival team reporting light rain. Well, we know Trump is in Vietnam. And Q looks like Q is showing us that, yeah, here we are on the ground and we are seeing light rain in Vietnam. Means Q and Trump are there together. Post 2889. And Annan noticed that Q responded to the fake tweet and said the following: once again, we're about to look like liars. That tweet Q posted is fake, and people are going to start spreading it all over the place. When something real does drop, nobody's going to believe it because we've already spread fake shit several times. How do we get word out to people? You don't lurk here on the board to not start sending out fake shit. We can't unless Q corrects. Now, this is the same tweet that we just read back in the prior post where we have Patton Oswalt with a child and a woman. And this is, I picked up this tasty morsel in Comet Ping Pong. But the real tweet is selfie at the Teen Titans Go movie premiere. Booyah. That is the real tweet. And this is why this Annan is very concerned. Q says, you are on the right track, quotes. Example, video clip, RE, paid to shill, REK brothers. Think context. Think bigger picture. Think connections. Define map. Well, Q had some Annans create a map of all Q's posts. And I do believe that Q is saying that if you put all these posts together, it will present the truth to everyone. And Q says the truth can always be found. So for the truth to be found, we must find the connection via the 2,900 or so Q posts. So Q is reminding us that we are the news now. The deep state and shills, they're going to try to trap us by taking video or pics out of context, produce fake tweets or fake videos, and try to put them on Twitter or on YouTube or anywhere else to see if we will nibble and take those and make them seem real. So Q is telling us we have to be very, very careful in what is going on here. Post 2894. Q gives us post 2590, and this is Daily Mail, The Age, and PerthNow.com. And this is all about high-profile figures that are convicted of human trafficking, pedophilia, and things like that. So down below, Q gave us 3 additional links. Edition.cnn.com, Vatican Treasurer Cardinal George Pell found guilty of child sex charges. BBC.com, George Pell, Cardinal found guilty of sexual offenses in Australia. Reuters.com, Australian Cardinal Pell, top Vatican official found guilty of sexual abuse. Many more to come, dark to light, Q, telling us that there's going to be a big name that's going to be dropped, and there's many more to come. Post 2895. Well, we know that Trump is in Vietnam, and an N went back to Q's post number 752 and reminded us that RBG was also in Hanoi. And down below it says, I hear Hanoi is educational. Q. Now Q says, good fine, Annans. Q. Just letting us know that RBG was also in Hanoi pushing her agenda. Post 2896. Q gave us a link to nationalreview.com, and it says Senate fails to pass Born Alive bill. It says these people are sick and evil. Q. Post 2897. And Annan posted a pic of a baby and asked the following. If a baby is born alive, doesn't he or she have automatic entitlement as a human being to life-saving measures? I would think so. If a baby is born alive, isn't it murder to kill him or her? Yes, because this is a baby. This is just like any other human being that is now living on the outside. So if the doctors decide not to help this baby, I would consider that murder. The Annan continued, why was this bill ever needed? Don't doctors take the Hippocratic Oath to save lives? Well, they do, and they should be helping another human being. So Q says the following. POTUS is currently evaluating legal options re executive orders. Watch the news. How can anyone support such evil? Q. And then post 2898, Q says test 3Q, and it looks like Q is testing private comms, maybe a new device or something like that. Now, Martin Geddes, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, tweeted out the following, which I thought was very interesting. So which one is a cult? Here's the cult characteristics. Zealous and unquestioning commitment to its leaders. Democratic Party, yes. And it says Obama hagiographies, and it says under MAGA, Q Army, no, MAGA plus Q, not Trump. Cult characteristics. Questioning and dissent are discouraged or punished. Democratic Party, yes. Clinton body count. Under MAGA, Q Army, no, think for yourself. Mind-altering practices are used in excess. Under Democratic Party, yes. Hypnotic TV news. Under MAGA, no. 8chan doesn't count. Actually, research for yourself. Cult characteristic. Leadership dictates how members think, act, and feel. Under D Party, yes. Mockingbird Media. Under MAGA, no. Think for yourself. Special exalted status for itself, leaders and members. Under D Party, yes. Deep state privileges. Under MAGA, no. Where we go one, we go all. Group has polarized us versus them mentality. Yes. Trump as a hate figure. Under MAGA, no. Where we go one, we go all. Leader is not accountable to any authorities. Yes. Deep state and criminal. This is under the D Party. For MAGA, no. Constitutionalist. Ends justify whatever means it deems necessary. Under D Party, yes. Antifa. Under MAGA, no. Criminal plus military law. Shame and or guilt used to control members. Yes. Under D Party, CF Kavanaugh episode. Under MAGA, no, where we go on, we go all. Requires members to cut ties with families and friends. Under D Party, yes. Inc., some workplaces. Under MAGA, no, where we go on, we go all. Group is preoccupied with bringing in new members. Under Democratic Party, yes, especially dead plus illegal ones. Under MAGA, no, it is completely organic. Group is preoccupied with making money. Under D Party, yes, why is Maxine so rich? Under MAGA, no, duty and sacrifice ethos. Members devote inordinate time to the group. D Party, yes, via meetups and drives. Under MAGA, no, just research and vote. Members live and socialize only with group members. D Party, yes, ever been to Berkeley? MAGA, no, where we go one, we go all. Loyal members feel there can be no life outside the group. D Party, yes, social ostracism is real. Under MAGA, no, where we go one, we go all. The deep state, they are losing their narrative. They're losing their hold. They do believe that they are strong right now. They do believe that they hold all the cards. And this is being done on purpose. Remember Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Appear weak when you are strong and strong when you are weak. So right now, they're making the deep state believe they have the power. And when people think they have all this power, they do really stupid things. And you can expose them left and right. What do you think has been happening? Think about the Smollett hoax. They want them to continually to push these type of hoax. Who's watching all of this? Who is providing certain information to expose these hoax? Think about what they're doing. They're showing the world what the mainstream media, what Hollywood, what all these people are really about. And we're probably going to see a lot more of these hoaxes. And they're going to be exposed over and over and over again. What Trump, Q, and the Patriots are trying to do, they're waking the people up. Yes, we are awake, but other people have to be woken up. Each time something like this happens with Jussie Smollett or with Stormy Daniels or with Russian collusion or anything like this, it wakes more and more people up, and they question the mainstream media. They question these individuals, and they start thinking, well, if that is fake, what else is fake? And if you continually expose additional hoaxes, more and more people start to wake up. This is part of the plan. Remember, the next turn is Trump and the Patriots. DECLAS. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.